love, fear, failure, success, and finally, survival. I've been through them all and came out stronger and healthier. Yeah, I went to a dark place, but talking about it pulled me out. My name is Sandy Crosse, and this is Crosse Conversations. Hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Shaunte said.
Hi, Miss Sandy.
AKA Jamacali.
We're feeling silly today, I see.
Yes, today's one of those days where I'm in one of those places in my life. I was starting to tell you earlier where I am feeling no shame in saying no. I'm feeling no hard feelings or anything because I'm just going to do what I want to do and not hurt anyone and just focus on me. And it's been very trying and very difficult, but a trip to Jamaica and another trip to the beach and some hot sex and some deep soul searching later. I have just really am in a good place.
Okay.
And I'm going to continue to talk about all the wonderful things that's made up the life of Miss Sandy here. But today I wanted to kind of change things up a little bit because you and I have been together for a while and we have a few of these in the can. And I was just like, you know what? Let me just see if we can play a little...
Change it up. Okay.
A little game here of 20 questions. And, knowing you probably have 45, but...
You're going to make me work harder today. Okay.
I just want to get just your standpoint, just questions that you may still have or some things we've discussed that you're just like, well, she was tripping when she said that. Let me see what she meant by that type of thing. Okay. Or I was just like, well, can you elaborate on this or whatever? Or if you just want to make jokes, you're all good at that anyway. So we can go for it.
Oh, we got plenty of time for jokes. Plenty of time. Well, you know what? It's interesting how you started off with how you're feeling and saying no to things. And one of the things that stood out to me when you said it was that I'm going to do this and not hurt people. And I was like, how is she going to do that? So what do you mean by that?
I think I'm overly sensitive myself. And so because I'm overly sensitive, especially since my body is going through all sort of trips right now, it gets you going. Okay. It gets you coming. It gets you when you're gone. All sort of, us women, we go through a lot with this body of ours. But I say that because I don't want to be unkind to anybody, or when I say no, I'm just like, I hope they don't think I'm being mean. And that goes back to me wanting to care about what people think.
Okay.
And it's not that I don't care what people think. I do very much care what people think, but I'm at a point in my life where I have got to stop caring as much because it's not reciprocated or people take advantage.
Okay.
Because you're perceived as, she's going to do it. I'm going to ask her for $5,000. Oh, she did it this time.
You rolling like that?
Well, that was back in the day. You should have joined the party then, girl.
The Bank of Sandy.
Well, I used to tell the kids, you see this right here? What?
On your forehead?
Yeah,
okay.
It doesn't say ATM. It says mom. Oh. Yeah, girl, I've had a lot of conversations about people that I am not an ATM.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have, if I have it, I give it. If I don't have it, I give it. And then I end up not suffering, but having difficulties. And then I don't want to ask the person, well, hey, can you repay that $2,000 or that $5,000 or that whatever? And I feel bad having to ask.
So that's cases of you basically putting others ahead of you. So basically on the plane, you be laid out because you put your gas mask on everybody else and you didn't put it on yourself first.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
that's rough. She said I wouldn't make it. Next time on
wait a minute.
She saved 48 people.
It's really ironic too because I didn't even recognize that about me until my sister pointed it out to me. When we spent a lot of time on vacation, this past vacation in Jamaica, and we spent a lot of time talking about just how I've grown. I'm like, I'm older. Mm-hmm. And she's talking about how, God, you've grown. I just like this new Sandra. You've always been spunky, but now you're kind of like, you're not a bitch about it.
Uh-oh.
I'm like,
so your sister thought you were a bitch. Well, you're just going to slide that in there.
Yeah, yeah. But she also thought that I was not weak, but I was too giving, too much. And she knows it's because I just want people happy. And so that she's like, well, when is it going to be your turn for happy? So she's been very instrumental in helping me recognize that I need to get to happy. And it's not selfish being happy, especially if you have kids. Kids will suck the life out of you. And they'll ask you for stuff and you just try and you get it. And then You get the loving for about 5 minutes and then it's over. Then they go to the next thing. I'm like, you know what? I need to do for myself. So when I went to Jamaica recently, I was getting calls, emails, text messages. Are you coming home or you living your best life still? Because I wasn't running around every day making sure I call them or making sure I get a text or making sure
you were enjoying your vacation.
Girl, I enjoyed myself.
Okay.
I enjoyed my vacation. I enjoyed my time away from them. And I enjoyed the way I was able to connect with myself, you know, and just really breathe.
That's huge.
It's amazing what happens when you start breathing, girl. Then your stomach feels a little flatter. I was just like, what happened?
So were you, I mean, I'm imagining Jamaica, I have never been, but I've been to some beautiful islands. I could imagine just taking it all in and just breathing and closing your eyes and like listening to the different sounds you may hear, the smells. I mean, that had to be amazing.
That was very much an amazing experience, right? I mean, I don't live exactly in the city. I live in the suburbs. And sometimes I just sit outside and I hear the birds tweeting.
Beautiful out there.
You know, and it's just so nice. It's so serene, you know? And then when I was in Jamaica, I was just like, this is really home. And I thought about Virginia too. Virginia's become home instead of California, which I don't know when that happened. But
that's okay. We'll keep you.
Oh, I love you. But yeah, it's a beautiful thing to just be still. And that's a good thing. A lot of Jamaicans, they'll say, hush. Just be still, hush. And when you just hush, when you silence your mind and you silence your stress and you silence this, I get what they mean by hush. Because I was like, are you telling me to shut up? They're like, no. Just hush.
Stop.
Be still.
Be present.
And it's amazing and how empowering that is to an individual.
And how recharging, right? It's like,
girl, I came home. I'm rearranging furniture. I got rid of my clothes. I'm in my garden.
I feel like every week I come here, the furniture's in a different place. I'm not sure what's going on.
It's called my healing. It's called healing.
So your feng shui.
Yeah, my feng shui.
Okay.
It's coming along. My plants, my everything.
Okay.
It's coming along.
All right. Well, since you've given me just creative discretion, I can ask you any and everything. Mm-hmm. I'm going to throw in some random stuff, but I got one that's kind of interesting. Are you into superheroes?
A little bit, kind of. I used to be.
Okay, well, we'll make them real heroes instead.
We could do superheroes, real heroes.
Because Avengers was amazing. I don't know if you didn't see it.
I was in Jamaica. People were like, let's go see Avengers. I'm like, why?
It's 3 hours of your life.
I'm like, why am I going to spend 3 hours of my vacation in a movie theater? No, thank you.
That's true. That's true. It was beautifully written, though. I will say that as a fan. I'm a little biased because I love Avengers, and I cheered when I saw, our favorite people on screen. But anyway,
Superman was in it.
Black Panther showed up.
What?
Girl, I was screaming in the theater.
Black Panther showed up.
Yeah.
What? Dang.
Okay, so that's for the Avenger. So my question. Let's have a little fun with this.
Okay.
So, who would you say is one of your favorite superheroes and why? Because you said you used to like superheroes a lot, so there must be somebody that you were like, you know what? Every time they're on the screen, I want to see them.
Well, let me think. That's kind of hard, but it's kind of easy at the same time. I've always loved Superman.
Okay. And why? Other than he was gorgeous.
Well, yeah. First of all, I'm a writer and he was a writer.
Oh.
So I connected to him.
You connected to Clark Kent.
I connected to Clark Kent.
Okay.
And then how conservative and cute and shy he is and everything else. And then he just came and when somebody needed him and he knew somebody was in danger, he just busted out into that Superman outfit and took off to go save you. And I just feel the same way. Like I'm doing my thing in my environment, and then when somebody needs me, I just bust it out, and so I can relate to Superman.
Okay, well that was fun. Thank you.
Yeah,
I have so many I couldn't even name them.
I really love Superman, and so Superman and Batman.
Oh.
Batman was dark and mysterious and lived in a cave.
And how does that relate to you?
Oh my God. Because he was so brooding, and he's like, you think I'm just some rich guy that broods, right? let me just tell you, I can kick your ass.
I noticed there's a constant theme about busting out on people. Like, it's more than meets the eye, right?
Yeah, it's
like,
more than meets the eye.
Oh, so you were a Transformer too, right?
Oh, Transformer. I never really got into Transformers that much. I was like, the guys that look like Legos, and they put their, my sister was just like, I'm done. You said Legos. Those are Transformers.
Yeah, you got to get it right now. Legos and Transformers, two different things.
Well, they kind of look alike.
No.
But I do.
You know what? I'm going to save you on that. Don't say that ever again.
Okay. But I do like Superman, and I do like Batman, and I like the TV show Wonder Woman. I didn't see the movie, so
I like the TV show. So okay.
Yeah.
All right, so, over the past several weeks, we've been doing a lot of deep stuff, and we talked about, like, why you're doing this. One of my favorite topics was Pussy Will Travel. And then we talked about your relationship, with your now ex-husband. A lot had transpired. I mean, so based on everything that you shared, do you have anything that you kind of regret sharing a little bit of? Or, like, once you let it out, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Ooh, that's a good question. And then I don't want to tell.
You don't want to tell, because then people are going to go back to the episode and be like, oh, yeah, that's why.
Well, I probably shouldn't have used his name in one of them. One of them I used his real name, so I probably shouldn't have used that. I thought about that afterwards. I'm like, we probably should delete that part.
You know what, though? You did say, ooh, I used his real name. So you did call it out. Okay. Yeah, so you regret using a real name.
Well, yeah, not that I regret, but I just feel like I don't want him to think I'm picking on him because he's the only one that actually used his real name. But for reasons been unknown to him, the impact he had on my life was significant, because I met him just when my mother died, and it was a few hours after her funeral service. I went to just get out of the house, and I was in Jamaica, and he came, and he had the most sophisticated voice, fine ass face, and tight ass body, and sorry.
Right. No, I remember.
All excited.
That's why I was like, you used his name, but it wasn't like you were saying anything negative about him. So it's not bad.
Yeah, I guess.
And you thanked him, I thought. So
I think I did too, because I did. He was very helpful in helping me realize what I don't want and what I do want. So I'm grateful to him for that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Everything else, well, there are a couple of things that I haven't shared yet that, I may have regrets about sharing it, but right now, no.
So, okay. This question may be easy for you. So in the beginning, we did that, and that was actually 3 parts. I mean, it talked about the relationship you had with your husband, but then at the time you weren't married. You guys were living together.
Oh, okay.
And looking back at that story, how do you think, at what point do you think that story would be different based on what you know today? Like, would it have been when you met him? Would it have been after your mother kind of warned him? Like, what do you think, looking back at the whole situation, right? And you're able to, like, pick a point where you only pick one point where you could change, and you can't change it at the beginning, because then that wouldn't be fun. But where would you have made a left turn instead of going, or where would you have made a right turn instead of going left with him? Because you named so many instances where you could have walked away and you didn't.
That's a great question, and it puts me smack into a very huge emotional problem I had when I found out some of the stuff he did. Actually, having my daughter early, it was his fault.
It was his fault?
Oh, yeah.
That you had your you mean that you delivered her early?
Yeah.
I was like, that you got pregnant. It was both of y'all. But I got you.
No, I delivered her early. And I'm not making that up. The doctor told him.
Right.
I took her home, and I stood underneath the Christmas tree, and I'm like, you're my present. You're mine. He may have contributed to this gift, but you are my present.
Right.
And I honestly was trying to decide if I was going to have him leave, and I just going to be me and her, or risk her growing up without her dad. And I know how many women I know that has daddy issues.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that for her. So I made the purposeful choice for both my daughter and my son, because a few years later, there were issues, to stay where I am and suck it up.
Okay.
So if anything changed my life, or I would have gone back and done differently, I would have taken a chance on me and being a single mother.
So this would have been after your first child?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the beauty of that is, I mean, the child is here. So you would have had so much grace for him all those years. And then that would have been the point because you have someone else depending on you.
Yeah.
Again.
And he stepped up, actually. I mean, her birth was the best thing that could have happened for about 7 years.
Okay.
5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, for about 5 years.
Yeah, because you wouldn't have stayed if it wasn't.
Yeah, he totally stepped up.
Okay.
He was braiding her hair when I couldn't. Girl, don't even get me started with that either. You know, but if I could go back and change anything, I would have taken a chance on myself. But it's also part of me growing up and knowing my worth.
Right. Okay.
Because I would have known that I was worth not putting up with the bullshit.
Okay.
And I would have suffered less. So, yeah.
It's been a different story.
That's a very good question.
Okay.
That was a very hard one, too.
I know. I told you, you're making me work. You're making me work, so I'm going to make you work.
Some hard questions like that. The Superman one was all right, but...
I said, I'm going to throw in something fun just to kind of throw her off a little bit.
Yeah, it's all good.
So, okay. Let's see. I had another one. Let's see. 2 years from now, right? 2 years from now, a lot will have happened. Mm-hmm. What do you want people to be saying about the things that you've shared?
Wow. She went through a lot. But look at her. She's standing. I could get through anything, too. You know, I could get through anything. People have things thrown at them so much, so much, and we just feel like we can't handle it. And I'm here to tell you, you can handle anything. Just have faith in yourself. I was weak. I was broken. I was insecure. I was fat. I was the blackest. I was the this. I was the that. I was the white girl. I was the one that speaks, with a Jamaican accent. I was the one that speaks like, she's from the Valley in California. I've just been labeled so many things and been just a lot of people to infiltrate me and try to tell me what I am and who I am. And in discovering at a late age who I am and what I am, if I could save one woman that's in her 20s, I didn't have my 20s. So I want people to just take away, damn, I could get through anything. Because we haven't gotten to some of the crunchy stuff
I know. Yet. I was like, there's some stuff we haven't talked about that you even kind of shared today. So, what's interesting is, and we have to be reminded that everything that happened to you up until today, at this very hour, if one thing changed, today would be different.
Yep.
So, part of your mission may be helping that person at 20 years old make a different turn and have a different story to tell.
You just gave me goosebumps with that. Because honestly, there's some semblance of, I know this is good and I know I'm going to be famous and rich and all that stuff. I'm not going to lie. But the root cause isn't fame or money or this. The root cause, honestly, it's therapeutic.
Yes.
It's sharing, like, you guys have no idea the shit that's gone down. But look,
right,
my ass is still standing.
Right.
And I think I shared this once before. Every time I feel like I need to just walk off that cliff, I feel somebody take the back of me and pull me back. I'm like, not today. I'm not done
with you.
Not today. Or Crosse, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
No, not today. Or when I get down and I'm having my little pity party, I'm like, okay, so listen, Sam, you can do it for like 10 minutes and then you got to really get over this and just focus on something else. Don't make it a whole day or a whole week or a whole month pity party.
Right.
It's not going to get you anywhere. I'm a big believer in shaking it off. And I've been in friendships and relationships where I was told that I was cold for saying that.
Yeah. Well, but a couple of things you said, though, that people probably will gloss over is you do give yourself permission to go through the emotion. If you're angry, be angry. But then you're like, hey, okay, now this isn't doing me any good right now. So I need to move forward. So you're giving yourself that permission.
So many people don't know how to move forward. No. So many people do not know how to get past.
I'll tell you why. One of the reasons, it's easy. It's easy to sit in self-pity and it's everyone else's fault but yours. You don't have to do any work. It's everyone else. It's not me. No one cares about me. No one does this. I'm sitting here in my own stew and it's easy because I don't have to do anything. It's uncomfortable. but I don't have to do anything. So it's hard to say a lazy thing, but it's one of those things where you're not accepting responsibility for the fact that you can choose to be different. You can choose to move out of it. You know, how you feel. You're choosing to be angry with people for a long period of time. You're choosing to hold on to stuff. It's a choice.
It is a choice. And it's funny you say that because I was talking to my sister earlier today and we were talking about just that. Mm-hmm. She's mad at this person. She's mad at that person. Mm-hmm. Or where, I'm just like, you can't pit family members. You can't like one brother, not like the other brother. And like, I'm not going to invite him to my house at Christmas, but I'm going to invite this one. I'm like, we can't do that. This is not what life is about. We pick up no matter what people do to us. No matter what. I'm not saying you have to be their best friends. I'm not saying that you need to. First of all, we can't even choose our family.
Right.
Because if we could, everybody would be adopted. Because we can't choose them.
No.
So with that, you're going to stuck. You may love them, but you don't have to be best friends with them. You don't have to see them all the time. Just keep in touch.
Right.
But friends, even family, shit. I'm just, and my family is definitely going through a metamorphosis with me because they're just like, did Sandra just say no? Wait, she meant it. She meant no. Like, I actually say no and mean it now. Like, I want
And it's a complete sentence. You don't have to add anything to no. No. Period.
Oh my God, you're going to make me bust up right now. You said it's a complete sentence.
It is.
I'm going to have to use that one.
No.
It's a complete sentence. No. You're right. Like I said, people are learning.
Yeah, you're right. People are learning. And like I said, no. Complete sentence. Teach them. No.
I had a friend, and she's one of my counselors. She said that too. She was one of the first persons to say to me, she's like, you need to learn how to own your no. And there are times when I tell her no, or times when she's noticed too that I've gotten a little bit more, not confrontational, that's not the word, but I'm speaking up more if I don't like something or if I think something. And she's just like, well, yeah, that's the real Sandy coming out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, does that mean she doesn't like me anymore? Does that mean she wasn't on me? I'm like, no, that's not Sandy. Yeah. You have a problem with that? No, all right.
Yeah.
I'm just doing me.
Sometimes people need like a little sugar on the no, right? They want you to justify. I guess my issue with having to explain after I say no, you're giving that person an opportunity to prioritize your life, right? If you say, Shaunte, can you come over here and do something? Like, no, girl, I'm about to go get my feet done. Well, is it walk-in or is it an appointment? And I'm like, does that matter? That's what I'm going to get. So therefore, someone could take something from you and say, that's not a high priority. That's not as important. So yeah. And even professionally speaking, I would tell people all the time, like, when you need to take time off, just say you need to take time off. Because when you start justifying it, then that's when someone's going to be like, oh, you're taking off to go hang out with your friends. Oh, you're taking off for, just because you don't want to come to work. I left it blank. Story I'll share with you, which mortified me. And I said, I would never justify why I'm taking off ever. This lady shared that she was getting a hysterectomy, right? With her boss. She's like, I need to take off. I'm getting a hysterectomy. Do you know that they shared that email with like almost everybody in the organization?
No.
And I was like, oh, they will never know when I need to go to the GYN. They will never know that stuff. It's just, I have an appointment. Because a hair appointment, to me, is just as important as a nail appointment, as important as a dentist appointment. So yes. Don't let people prioritize your stuff. So no is a complete sentence. That's why I say that. All that to say, people will try to, prioritize your things.
That is amazing. I never even thought of things from that perspective. And it's so true. Yeah, now I'm just like, yo, I'm out.
I can't go. Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Sandy, are you working today?
No.
I have 68 hours and I'm only supposed to have 66. Is it quick? I'm like, I could give you half an hour for free, but
right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So no. Okay. Well, that was fun. I had to jot down some questions because I was like, I don't know which direction I want to go in, so she gave me so much power here. So we have these funny titles, I'll say interesting titles for the ones we've done and the ones we plan on doing. If you had to give your life story a title, what would it be?
Ooh, that's another good one. Ooh, that's a very good one. Wow, you actually stumped me.
Ooh, how many points do I get for that one?
You get 20 points. What would
I
my
just
story
thought you
be?
would have had a title with all this that we've been writing and jotting down. I
But
was
it's
like,
really funny. I have an old title.
okay, what's the old one?
I used to call myself Ito.
Oh, you got to explain that.
Everything to everyone.
Oh.
I called myself that for years. Years, even in business.
See, that shows me how the connections happen because I felt that way. Like I said, I am everything to everyone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Especially if you're the oldest.
The oldest, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what my title is now. I haven't thought about it, but it's definitely not Ito anymore.
Okay.
You know, I
Not Ito.
no, I am relinquishing that title
Okay.
and in search of a new one. And when I find it, you will be the first to know. That's very hard.
Okay. So we'll do this again because you
Yeah.
know we're going to do this again. And I'm going to ask you that again.
Okay, yeah, please do.
So then along those lines, and let's have a little fun with it. Little fun. I'm always into music. I love music.
Me too.
And you can tell a lot about a person by the songs they listen to. Mm-hmm. So if every time you entered a room and a theme song would come on for you, whatever you picked, today, what would be your theme song?
Money follow you, banana follow you. Are you done talking? Honey, you done talking?
Money follow you.
Yeah, for some strange reason, I was just talking to my boyfriend about this over the weekend. I'm just like, why do people just look at me and assume that I have money? You would not believe how many people do that mess.
Okay.
And flavored, unflavored, everybody. And I'm just like, I'm not broke.
You're not broke.
But wow, that's another hard one. I have so many songs that I kind of have in my head.
Okay. So what's your...
From Mariah Carey, Shake It Off.
Shake It Off.
That was my anthem.
Okay.
One Republic was my divorce song.
Oh gosh, you got songs
It's
for
too
like...
late to apologize.
So see, now you're going to make
It's
me...
too late.
I think I'm going to add that every time we end an episode, I'm like, what would the song be for this episode?
That would be good. Yeah, that's another hard one. My current song, I'm all into the whole, I love Ed Sheeran. So
Oh, yeah.
it'll probably be an Ed Sheeran song.
Would it? Okay. All right. Then since you can't think of a theme song, how about this? So let's say you're having a rough day, and what song could help change your mood?
I put on my P Square on Pandora and listen to every song from P Square. And I love the collection, the radio station.
Okay.
So it puts me at peace. And there's also another station, and I'm not advertising Pandora because they don't work in Jamaica and I'm annoyed. Anyway, I would do a thing called World Beat as well.
Okay.
It has music from all over the world.
And that just changes your mood.
It changes me. Whenever I'm in a, like, whoa, I put on World Beat and I hear the music from Sri Lanka. Or a little bit of salsa that's like guitar. Da-da-da-da-da. Dun, dun, with the guitar, and then, or I hear a little bit of one. The other day it was Bob Marley, Three Little Birds.
Oh yeah, that came on the other day too. That made me smile. Like yeah,
it's just so fulfilling.
Yeah.
It's very tranquil, but some of it you recognize. But it's how people around the world relax.
Right. Yeah.
So I love that station.
Okay.
I tend to do it at nights when find myself working late at night and I just want to have a little peace.
Right.
I'll play that. And during the day when I'm working or I'm just want to get stuff done, I pay my P Square and I'm just, or Ed Sheeran, the weekend. the top rap songs for 2018.
Too funny.
I love Chance the Rapper and I did love Kanye.
Okay. We don't want to go there.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
I don't want the Kardashians.
I was about to say, I don't have that much money to be getting sued or anything.
Right?
I'm like, I'm changing my name. All right, that was fun. Okay. So let's see. What are some things that everyone can look forward to hearing?
I have a lot of happy stuff.
Good.
Coming up. I'm going to talk a little bit about my career in the beginning, how I met all these famous people and never really realized how many famous people I met. Now that
Is it because they weren't famous at the time?
no, they were like Anita Hill.
Oh, okay.
I worked for Time Magazine, and when she was going through the testimony in DC, we did an interview with her, and I was the one that walked her in, sat her down,
Didn't know
and
who
talked
she
to
was.
her. I mean, I knew who she was, but I was just fascinated by her. And then I was kind of like, girl, I'm on the fence about you. But then after I started talking to her, I realized I was in my very, very early 20s. So she was older, of course. What's his name?
Clarence.
Clarence is a lot older than both of us.
Right.
So it was kind of like, well, I don't know, like you really didn't know what you were doing, or you really felt this way. And then when after I talked to her, this very sophisticated, very just down to earth and matter of fact.
So did you imagine at that point, though, that this was going to be something that goes down in history? Maybe that's what it was. Like, you didn't really realize the magnitude, right? Like, what you're dealing with at that moment is, like, posted in the African American History Museum and all in the books. And, it's a pivotal moment in history.
It's definitely a pivotal moment in history. I schmoozed with Magic Johnson and a couple of the different Lakers, back in the day. And then I found out, that Magic
had Magic.
Yeah, Magic had a little bit of issue, but Magic is rich now. And I am mad at Sherry. I would have stayed with his ass too. I'm like, I don't have it, and you do, and nobody's gonna want me.
And he's looking healthy. Like
I told my son the other day, I said, Magic Johnson has the cure for AIDS.
He does. He has
and
to.
He's had it, and he's had the cure for years, and they're just now sharing it with the common man.
Well, they had to make sure it worked.
Well, yeah, but girl, he was alive when everybody else was dying. It worked. It worked back in the 90s. It worked back in the 80s. It was working. Mm-hmm. They just wanted to make sure that it made enough money so that he could invest in it and not buy baseball teams and shit. Because he's part owner of the Dodgers.
He's rich.
He's rich, real rich.
Wealthy.
Yeah, real rich.
Okay.
But there's that. Just sharing a little bit more about the people I've met, just from fun things and some of the things that's happened when I met them. My travels. I've traveled to all parts of the world, and my friend and I were talking on the phone today. She's going to Costa Rica. She's like, oh, I remember when you went and the story you told me when you went. I'm like, ooh.
Okay, now you got to tell that story. You don't have to tell it right now, but we're going to definitely anticipate this story.
You remember?
Because your facial expression is telling me this is going to be a really good story.
And that's where I decided I was getting a divorce in Costa Rica.
Oh, okay.
On that vacation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was bad.
Oh, okay.
I probably shouldn't say anything else. But I'm divorced now, so.
Yeah, you are divorced, and, what can you do?
It was fun. So, yeah, I definitely have a lot to share with the travels and just life tips and some of the encouragement and, situations where I was in for work and being a young woman and being a woman of color and being in an environment that was not the same and growing up in an environment that's not the same. Like, how do you handle certain situations when you know that people are being blatantly prejudiced in your face, but at the same time, you're not going to go down and be that angry Black woman. So you come back with something really intelligent and freak them out, and then they will all want to be your friends. Because it's like, oh, this person didn't fall into the stereotype of this or this. So I want to just share as much as I can of me. And I want to get back from the people that are listening, like, just hear their stories. Yeah. I really want to. We're going to have a call-in session. We're
going to have conversation, because it's not just going to be these are conversations, meaning with other people, too.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that, just spreading the word and getting other people to join us and talk about different subjects. And one of the things I really want to talk about, and I'm probably going to get my ass slapped. Oops, I said ass, especially what I'm about to talk about, religion.
Ooh, I don't mess with religion and politics with people.
I just don't either.
So we're going to bring someone else in for that one.
No. It's not a bad thing. It's how we're judged.
Yeah.
How we're judged and how people say they're religious or spiritual, and yet they're the biggest judge. They're the most judgmental.
Ooh.
Or the most hypocritical.
Like I said, we're going to bring somebody else in for that conversation.
So... we're not going to get into like fights or anything like that.
I'm not fighting.
It's just, just observations.
I'm not fighting.
Yeah, because I've seen some doozies.
I have too. So, I guess what's good about this is, and it's not what I guess, but it's true, is the fact that the things that you're talking about and we're talking about people don't like talking about it. Or they feel like they're the only ones going through something. So therefore, they don't talk about it because no one else is talking about it. So again, I think I've said it before. I commend you for just being that person to just kind of put it out there, even if it's ugly, even if it's, not my parents, but family will be mad at me or someone's feelings may be hurt a little bit. I commend you for that because it makes a difference to talk about it,
It really does. It really does. And, a lot of people, at least the people who I'm trying to reach, they have been silenced,
yes.
or they feel like
technically you've been silent.
I have been silenced.
So
I have been silenced, and it's just, you have a voice. To discover that you have a voice.
And a choice.
It's so liberating. I can't even begin to tell you. Everybody's noticed the difference, actually, in me. Like, from the stress of the last few years to now, I have just in a good place, and I'm grateful for it.
I see a difference in a few months. So you're doing the work and you're making differences and making changes.
Definitely. And I'm seeing my cute dog over there that I'm steal from you.
He's not your dog. He's my dog.
I know. So cute. Though. I want him. That's Bentley, y'all. Bentley's so cute.
I know. He's sleeping.
But yeah, I just want to help. And I know that maybe sound cliche and some people like, yeah. But I just want to help. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist or registered counselor, none of those things. I'm just a human being trying to share some of my experiences with other human beings, knowing that I discovered I'm not alone.
Yeah.
And to discover that you're not alone and to have people on your side or to have somebody to just reach out to, even though it's a stranger, it's priceless.
Yeah. I think, too, it weighs more for me to see a real person. It's kind of like the exercise analogy, right? And you see this person is going to tell you how to change your body. And you're looking at them like you have eaten everything you wanted to and you're still skinny. What do you know, right? So you got someone that seems like the credibility is there. The authenticity is there. You've been through it. I'm a regular, genuine person. I don't have multi-millions of dollars to pay for people to disappear. It's like you're an everyday person, and it's cool to hear that and see that. And I know for me, even listening to some of the stories, that I'm like, wow, dang, I thought I had a lot going on. Someone you're looking at that's full of life, and you're like, wow, I would have never guessed that you have been through even a quarter of the things you've shared so far.
Yeah, and it's also just, like you said earlier, it's part of my story.
Yeah.
If I hadn't gone through those things, I wouldn't have these great kids. Or if I hadn't gone through even this house, going through divorce, how upset I was when he wouldn't come with me to sign the papers.
Yeah. This
is my house.
Yeah.
How we perceive things and how we honestly just like, listen, this is not going to it may ruin my day today, but it's not going to ruin tomorrow.
Right.
Right. Simple. Right. It's not going to drag into the next and next and next and next. I just won't allow that.
Right. Yeah. No, that's good.
So yeah, it's definitely a good feeling to think that I'm helping, and I certainly hope so. And we're going to have sessions where people are going to call in, but don't be trying to ask me none of these hard questions like she's asking me about my favorite superhero, because you can't have just one superhero.
Oh, no, you can't.
I want to know who's yours.
Oh, I knew you were going to do that. So, of course, there's Black Panther, but I loved always Wonder Woman and Storm from X-Men and Wolverine.
Oh, I love me some Wolverine. Oh, when he just put those claws out.
Yeah. Yeah. And the fact that he didn't age. None of them do, but, So.
I don't know. Ben Affleck kind of look old as Batman. And George Clooney was kind of old as Batman.
But Batman, see, that's the thing, though. Batman and Iron Man, you got to remember, they are humans who had, extra abilities. They weren't necessarily with superpowers.
That's true.
Their equipment, and I think Batman's wit, Spider-Man is, not human, or Wonder Woman.
I love me some Spider-Man. Oh, my God. He's so hot.
Yeah, so Batman and Iron Man should age. Because they're human.
Oh.
Now that I thought about that and said that out loud.
They're not going to age. They're not going to age at all, actually. They're going to just get...
Do you need a nap?
No.
Lack of oxygen to your brain? What was that?
No, the thing is, though, I told you to take antihistamine, right?
Yeah, I didn't take my pink pill yet. So
I took one, and it's just like, oh, it's kicking in. Oh yeah.
You and Bentley on the same stuff. He's on Benadryl right now.
Yeah, I got to get that Benadryl in because I got some work to do out there so that we can party.
Oh, yeah, party.
So, yeah, I am definitely looking forward to future episodes. I'm definitely looking forward to engaging with, the people out there and seeing what questions they come up with and their thoughts, and just kind of share myself and hopefully provide some help to even one person.
Okay.
And that's all it's about. It's about providing what you can to help others, but still retaining your sense of worth.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting? I just thought of when you said it, and I looked at you as you were saying this, helping that one person. You never know who that one person is and who their reach will be. Can you imagine the one person that may have inspired Oprah? Can you imagine? Right?
Yeah.
So you could be inspiring the next Barack Obama, the next Michelle Obama. You don't know who that one person is. So your reach, even though you say one, it still could be so many more people because of the
you're being
impact. Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing. And I think that's huge when you're setting expectations like that. You say one person, and to the naked eye, they're like, oh, one person. I mean, you're going to do all this for one person? Well, I don't know who that one person is. I don't know how many people that one person may touch because somebody inspired you, right? And now you're doing this. So you never know.
That's so true. We really don't. We really don't. It's just like...
It kind of gets overwhelming. You're like, oh my God, this person may be a world changer.
Like, are you the one? Are you the one?
It might be me. You never know.
But yeah, you're right. That's actually very, very true. And... keep it humble, keep it simple, and
I don't know how much more humble you can get. We're sitting in like your dining area. The trash man didn't come by today, so that was
you
good.
And the damn trash man.
I was hollering out the window. So I mean,
yeah, we are in a good place with this, and I don't know if I've ever really expressed it to you that I'm really enjoying the journey with you.
Oh,
you're hilarious. You are hilarious. And I just knew when I was texting you, so I'm going to ask her to do some questions. I know she's going to be coming up with some crazy stuff, but I'm going to deal with it. I don't even want to know. It's a risk. I don't even want to know the questions before, because if I do, I'm going to be like,
I can't think
Shaunte,
of that.
We can't be asking that one because I can't think of nothing for that. So I'm like, let me keep the element of surprise. And sure enough, Shaunte.
Of course. I didn't want to disappoint.
No, you don't, darling.
Well, I don't have any more questions right now. I mean, I gotta save some of my brain juices for the next time we do this.
Yes, I am really, really happy that you came up with such great questions, and I'm gonna be prepared for my song.
Yes,
and
you never know, we could be adding to people's playlist, right? I always look for a good new song I've never heard.
Well, maybe I should do that for the party. Just have people like, give me a song for the playlist. Yeah. Or you just give me an idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to send out a note today.
Yep. And then all of a sudden it plays, and you can tell by people's reaction if they send it. They're like, oh, that's my
song. That's true. That's so fun. Well, maybe you could get your face painted too.
Oh, no.
Bentley! But this was great. This was really... refreshing. It was a nice little twist on it. So I really enjoyed this, and every few episodes we'll hit up some 20 questions or 10 or 12 or
and then have guests. I mean, you already mentioned that we may bring in some other people in the conversations.
Yeah, we definitely are going to be having some guests in the conversation.
Okay, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
That's it, you guys. Until next time.
Bye.